Good afternoon, Mark Wagner here. Just a little bit different today. I'm at the at-home setup. It's the way she goes sometimes. We have all these things we're juggling. You just try and make everything work. The main thing is the content, right? You're not so much worried about what's happening in the background here. I actually spend most of my life in this room, so it's something that I'm most comfortable with. This is my mission headquarters here, where I put everything together. We truly have an international show. I'm joined by a guest that is like on the opposite side of the planet. He'll tell me. I think he's in tomorrow, and I think he's like 4 hours or 5 hours behind. But the next day, it's this whole living on this sphere we called Earth here. Without further ado, I'm just going to bring on Craig here. I just got to press some buttons here, and then away we go. Craig, how are you doing today?
Mark.
Thanks for joining me.
Thanks for that, Mark. But no, I'm not here today. I'm here tomorrow.
You are. It's weird. You're in the future. Craig is joining me from the future.
Well, why wait until today if you can have it tomorrow? And
That's right. So, hey, I'm going to keep in touch with you. So if there's anything that like comes up, you can, give me the heads up, and then I'm aware that it's going to happen. Lotto numbers would be great if you get some lottery numbers. I'll let you sort of introduce yourself and what you're all about, and without me, butchering that for you, I'll let you take it away, Craig.
Certainly, Mark. Well, I've been in the M&A business now for about 25 years.
Yeah.
So that's where my history. Well, we are mixing it up here, Mark.
There, you're green here now. That's my bad. See, the technical. You keep going, and I'll change that.
We're all green. But yes, I've spent 25 years in the mergers and acquisitions arena. And in 2025, I decided that I've spent 15 years in the health environment. 2025, I decided to get involved with dental because I found that there was a big issue with the dental arena. And that is that the dental professionals and the founders are excellent at what they do. The issue is they're not trained in business. They're not business professionals. They are highly skilled professionals in the dental arena. And one of the big issues with that is their business isn't optimized. Their business isn't running as well as what it should be, and it doesn't look as good as what it could be for when they need to exit. And every business has to have an exit at some stage. It's just the way it is. Humans only last so long, and then we wear out. So you need to have a plan for your exit.
I really feel that too. I feel like I'm wearing out as time goes along.
You're looking okay so far, Mark.
Oh, I appreciate that. So what's if you can give like a top 3 challenges that you're facing on your front, like you're on the other side of the planet, just compare things to what's happening here in North America. What challenges are you seeing with all your clients?
I tend to work on the smaller end of town because that's where the bigger challenges are. The mid and larger end of town, they've worked through the challenges. They've got a system that works. They've got a process that works. They've got the back end and the corporate behind them that know how to make things work. But the lower end of town, the 2-3 practice side of things, the 3-4 seat practices, they don't have the facilities to support them the best. So they don't have their own lawyer, they don't have their own accountant. They share all of these resources. And that's a problem because they may not have the best accountant for a dental practice. They may not have the best lawyer for a dental practice. They may not have the best lawyer that does exits for them as well. They may have the best accountant that does their taxes, But a business set up for taxes is not a business set up for exiting.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
So it's that back end that is the number one issue.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I identified the biggest issue. So what I did was I went and set up a shared business group where I take care of all the back end for them. They concentrate on doing the dental and the clinical, and we run the back end for them so that they can get home at night and spend time with the kids and the family, rather than having to work 11 hours a day, then go home and then work another 3 hours on the admin side of things. So that's the number one thing. The number two, I think I just mentioned as well, practices set themselves up for tax because they want the cash in their pocket rather than setting themselves up for an exit, which is where they make the biggest amount of cash they'll ever see in their entire life, if it's done right.
Right.
The third thing is, how on earth do we exit and why? And that is a whole other subject. There's something called the 5 Ds for business exits, and there's about 11 ways to exit a dental practice. And most of them only know of 2.
Sure. Yeah.
Awareness is a big problem. And that's where you come in.
Yeah. Yeah. And you spoke to that too. Is like, every successful practice, there is somebody in the business center of the practice that's their job, whether that's an operations manager, a leader of some sort on that front, so that the clinicians can focus on doing the dental work. So, what is the situation down there for group practices? Is it a big, what percentage of the market down there is groups, DSOs?
A large percentage, but the market is still quite fragmented here in Australia, as it is in New Zealand. Just in Melbourne, where I'm located, there's 1,276 2 to 3 seat practices that are standalone.
1,200. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. What's the population there? What is population?
Population is just over 5 million here in Melbourne these
days. Got it. Yeah. Got it. Yeah, that sounds about. That's the province of BC. It's we're sitting around 3,600 in BC, so it's underserved there in Melbourne. Then
it is. There are lots of opportunities, and the problem is, in Australia, we're an island, and we're the biggest island in the world, but we are an island, and we just don't have enough people. Our birth rate is 1.2.
Yeah.
So you need 2.2 to have a growing population, and our birth rate is 1.2.
We're not replacing ourselves. Yeah. We're not.
We are not.
Yeah.
So we import people. The problem is, we want to import great quality people with specialist skills, but those skills are also needed in other places as well. So we can't get all the skills. And we had a great chat just before we got on here. I'm sorry everybody missed it.
I know.
We just got into it way too early.
That's fine, right?
Give a little recap for people. We were talking about robots and AI and the introduction of those to fill people, in particular Australia. So you're okay over there in the US. You've got lots of people. But here in Australia, where we can't get enough people, to fill positions there that can work and make up the gap.
Yeah.
That is an opportunity, and that's something that's going to be taking place in the next 18 months. It's already started. I was chatting with a friend of mine the other day, and he does robots for cleaning hotels. And these little robots, not only do they actually go and clean themselves, empty themselves, they refill their cleaning products themselves. They talk to the elevator so they can go up and down floors. They don't have to reach up and press a button like us.
Yeah.
We're already starting to do this. And it's going to happen in dental as well.
And here, like it's gonna just be commonplace. Like I was just in Arizona, and driverless cars, like it's happening. Whether you fight it or not, you're best to not fight it. You're best to get on board. And I think the businesses that out even like transcending dentistry, if you're not applying some sort of AI automation, and like I think it's getting there for front end things. Obviously, robotics, that's another ball of wax that we can get into. But definitely in automating your data and your back end of if we jump back into the dental practice, there's so many applications. In terms of filling a schedule and all that great stuff with these new tools that are coming to fruition very quickly. And like you said, 18 months, I think we're seeing a lot of the early adopters implement things like there's a company in Canada that it automates getting in contact with the insurance companies. So the front end of the practice, the receptionists are not like sitting on a phone anymore with these insurance companies. It's all done, behind the scenes in the software. And I think that's just great. Like, where can we implement these low value tasks with something like that that operates if your job exists like on a computer, there is some application of it, and you could either fight it or just dive in and learn it the best you can and start implementing it yourself, because eventually somebody will go to your clients will go to your competitors that are using it. Like it's inevitable. So
I want to come back to that, but first of all, I want everybody to get out a pen and paper or whatever they want to write on and write this down, because whenever I talk to someone, I like to either say them 5 figures or make them 5 figures.
Oh, I like that.
So on this occasion, I'm going to make you 5 figures.
Great.
So get ready, start writing this down, okay?
This is a high value conversation here now. Yeah, let's go.
Absolutely. I want you to write up a segment and daily. First column, I want you to write down what you do daily. Just 3 items.
Mm-hmm.
3 items that you do daily, how long each of those items take in minutes. Then I want you to write down who does those tasks, because they don't have to be yours. Then I want you to write down the value of that person. How much does that person cost you? And I'm not talking just wages here. I'm talking their value to you.
Mm-hmm.
And then I want you to figure out how much that task costs you per annum. Then look at that and think, okay, is that worth fixing?
Yeah.
Then you need to get on the line and fix that problem. And don't just be the only person in your practice to do this, because you don't see everything that's going on in your practice. I don't care how good you are as a manager, you don't see it. Everybody needs to do this task. Bring them all together and you think at how much you're going to save. And I guarantee it'll be more than 5 figures.
That's a great idea. I really like that. From all the perspectives.
Now, we double down on that. Let's double down on that.
Oh, that's right.
What do you do? Let's do it on a week as the next step. Then do it on a month. Then do it on a quarter.
Yeah.
There you go. That's just made this whole conversation worthwhile for your guests today, Mark.
There you go, Craig. That's it for today, right? I'm just kidding. But that, I think, and also having that conversation and learning about all the fronts too is mission critical, especially I think front of the practice and back of the practice. Like there should be an awareness of the goings on, and all the external stuff too. Like if there's, maybe part of that too is the consultants and the other firms that you're working with, marketing. Everybody should be aware of what's the activity, right? Like the morning huddle is such an important piece to the puzzle too, isn't it?
It is, but I don't want people to think just writing those down is what they're doing on a computer.
Yeah.
It might be cleaning the floor.
Sure.
It might be whatever it might be, because is it best? Is your time spent best cleaning the floor, or are you better to get in a cleaner to do that?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
And
come
like,
in twice a day to do that.
yeah, and just a simple calculation whether that's that is, I really like that. That is a great suggestion. Also, like for yourself, like just like you said, awareness of how much are we on autopilot, right? I think obviously a lot of us get into routine. What a great way to freshen things
At
up
work,
too. To be
with your relationships, with everything. Yes,
yeah.
we are creatures. We are so self-obsessed.
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
You've got to look at, and I see things, and I've said this many times. You don't know what's going on behind someone's front door.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that saying can also be put into you don't know what someone else is doing in their job either.
Yeah.
You've got to get down and ask them. Simply put, get them to document it. And it will change the quality of that person's work life as well. It'll change the quality of their produce as well. Because if they're happier, because they're not doing these menial tasks and they've eliminated this 80% task that's been wasting their time, it just makes them so much more productive.
And efficient. And what a way to, perhaps there's some activities within that list that people could work together on, right? Maybe there's some redundancies too that are, maybe there's some overlap there too that you're gonna, when you compare notes, you get to see the full picture better. I think what a fantastic idea. That's great. I love that. It's so awesome. Like for even, folks that aren't even in, I think I'm going to do that myself. I think that's a great idea.
Everybody should be doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are softwares and things like that where you can sort of log and calendar that activity too, to make yourself even more efficient. I know in terms of like when you get into, if you're, a sales type individual out there, just having a customer relationship manager, like the CRMs of the world, like there's great softwares out there to really, you're implementing these things that you're doing on a regular. Yeah.
CRMs are going to be replaced in the next 18 months as well.
Oh,
the CRM that you know today, is not going to be the CRM that you see in 18 months' time.
Oh no, yeah, I work pretty closely with HubSpot and the automation and AI components that they're putting into place is just, again, we talked about this before we jumped on, like the speed, the frequency that this world is putting along at it is like we said this, where everybody's holding on for dear life, right? There's something new every day coming out. I heard this stat too with the spread of information and the availability of it. Our knowledge doubles every 10 hours as a species now. Like I thought that fact was pretty incredible. Like, so, wow. Make sure you're tapped into that sort of thing, right? There's an abundance of data out there and ways to do things. There's many ways to get to A to Z, I think, these days too. And every practice is different too. There are the variables in place and the personnel too. I think, it's a great time to be alive, I think.
Absolutely. We should always be looking at our own business and looking at other people's businesses as well. For example, I look at your business and I think, okay, well, we've got this main show here, but now you need to do the prelim show as well, so that people aren't missing out on all the great conversations you have and don't get published.
Okay,
so you got me on here today on the pretense of talking about business exiting.
Yes.
We should do some of that, shouldn't we?
Yes, we'll get to. I find like the most fun I have doing these things is just the tangents, but absolutely. Well, let's jump on that. So you talked about there's 11 points. People are aware of only 2 points in exiting. Should we dive into what those 11 things are, or is that a good start, or maybe a top 5 of those things?
We can, and just so that I didn't undervalue. I've got a list up there on my other screen,
Great.
just so that I got it right. And I look at the first one and I think, oh, it's so depressing. Shut down and walk away. Well, that's not what we want at all. We don't. Your business is an asset. And it's an asset that supports your vendors, your clients, your staff. There's a whole ecosystem around it. We don't want that option. And then you've got a distressed or fire sale. That's not a good thing either, because that means that you're not going to get the value of it. So I'm depressed already. Let's move across.
That's on you. You're doing this to yourself at the moment. Yeah.
We need to prepare. We need to prepare for a business exit. That's what we need to do so that we get the most value. Because there's another horrible thing out here that I've got on this screen, and I'm looking at this slide now, and it's just really depressing. The 5 Ds of business exits: death, disability, divorce, disagreement, and distress.
Yeah.
So I want to ask your people, when's that going to happen? When are one of those 5 things going to happen?
When we roll the dice in life, right? The depressing dice roll. Yeah. To be prepared for that kind of thing, right?
We just don't know when one of those 5 Ds is going to happen. So we need to get on the front foot. We need to prepare. And something else we were chatting about before we got on here was about the staff in the practice. They need to be part of this process as well. Their lives are heavily involved in this. Their kids, their family life, their holidays, they need to be part of this. And they deserve to be part of it.
Well,
so
and Craig too, like the point that I brought up too, we talked about this before we jumped on, is those folks it's like the people make the practice too. So in that practice being successful in the future with that new owner, it's they should be involved with it. It just makes so much sense.
And there's so many ways that they can be involved with it. As an employee, or I want a say. And the best way that I can have a say is, why don't I have some skin in the game? Why don't I have some money invested in this business? It doesn't have to be a lot. You may not get a big say, but you get a say and you get some of the profits back as well. It's a great way to go.
Yeah.
Have your people actually come to you and said, hey, I want to invest in your business?
I'd be curious to see like how
to get them involved.
Yeah, no, for sure. And like you said, skin in the game is such they'll value their time and the things that they're doing if there's something in it for them, right? If it's just something they come to check in and check out, like there's a lot of folks that just really care about the work that they do, and they're fine. But I've seen that model work for sure.
It all comes down to, I'm a big contracts person. You've got to have a good contract. It's like having a good fence with your neighbour.
Yeah.
A good fence makes good neighbours. A good contract makes good relationships as well. So have a good contract. Invite your people to come on board and invest with you. They will work better. Their productivity will go up. They'll become more understanding. Lots of good things there. But anyway, let's get back to these. We've only done 2 so far. Delayed sale with leaseback. So that means that you can sell your business and still get paid for it like a rental property for the next 5-7 years. That's pretty good. That way you can retire and you can do whatever you want to do and still get paid an ongoing salary for a while.
And if I'll add too, I when there's a complete transition to the new owner, and it's the lights, it's one and the other comes on board, there's a 30% drop in patient base too. So if you have the the original owner on and as an associate and have that sort of exit strategy, the transition of that patient base is that much better too. It's I've seen it time and time again, and I've spoken about this and seen it. Like it's, if it's the Band-Aid ripped off situation, it's, you better be ready, because those patients are, if the original owner's done the right job, they're there because of the people, right? So just some other thoughts.
You didn't mention the loss of staff in that as well.
There you go. Yeah, absolutely. That too. Yeah.
Same story there.
Yeah.
And this is where it really starts to cut in to the profits.
Yeah.
And there's arrangements here with earnouts and things like that we'll cover here. If you're cutting into the profits over the first 2 to 3 years, well, that's cutting in to the money that's going to go into your back pocket that's being withheld by the buyer at this stage.
And also too, just an awareness for the buyer too. Like that's something that's important. You want to thrive into the future, and that sort of transition is a healthy crossfade of one to the other. That just makes it does make a lot of sense.
And if you've got your employees that are now in partnership with you, they're going to make sure that the customers have a great relationship. They're going to work to stay on board as well. None of these 11 options stand alone. Mm-hmm. You can blend and mix whatever suits your requirements and what is best for your staff, for your patients, and for your hip pocket as well.
Yeah.
A phased sale over time, so getting chunks over the next 5 to 7 years, that's a good way to go. We've already covered this one. Sell to an associate or an internal team. Yeah, I do love that one. I really do.
Yeah, I think doesn't that work the best? Yeah,
there's different ways of doing that. If you sell it to your internal team and then you sell the business, they get shares in the new business, the new structure, the new ownership. So they're going to make money and make money again that way. Love that one.
Yeah.
Sell and stay on as an employee. Well, every buyer wants you to do that because you can't get enough qualified staff. So they want you to stay on as an employee. And if you say yes, well, great. That means that you get a salary, tick, and you get cash in your pocket from the sale, tick, and you probably don't have to work as many hours or many days either, not only because you've got rid of the admin and all of that sort of stuff, because you can negotiate your own ticket. And say,
and like maybe picking up working 3 days and maybe picking up the dentistry that you want to do too, right? There's a lot of that. Staying on as a mentor as well too. Like there's so many good reasons to stay on, and quitting cold turkey unless you've got like a healthy bucket of hobbies to do. You got to think about your long-term health as well. I think, if there's anything that I've learned personally, like seeing my dad retire and sell his business like cold turkey, you lose your mental faculties too. It's like if you're staying on working 3 days a week and doing the work that you want to do, that just sounds, it seems like a good situation to me.
Since you brought that subject up, I do dental roll-ups. So I package up 30 dental practices and with founders, and I do it in a co-op arrangement, which means that they own the businesses the whole time. So I don't ever own the businesses. But I was working with a guy in the US, and he does HVAC roll-ups, and he sold his business for $368 million to his son.
Yeah.
And he decided that he would just sit in the office, and he was there 6 months, this guy, after he sold his business. And his son came in and tapped him on the shoulder and said, "Dad, get out. You need to go and get a life."
Yeah.
you don't own this business. It's my business. Get out.
Yeah.
So now they've got another business together. You've got to have an understanding of when you go to exit. And the very first, the reason I brought up with what I do, I don't ask people if they want to sell their business. I don't ask people if they want to exit. The first question I ask people is, what are they doing 2 years after they exit?
Yeah. Right.
That's the question I ask. Yeah. If they do not have a plan for what they're doing 2 years after they exit, they shouldn't exit.
I agree.
Because they will get lost. This mate of mine who got the tap on the shoulder by his son to get out, he didn't have a plan.
Yeah, right.
And his son had to force him into a plan. And now they going gangbusters together in their own business together. So
amazing.
They've got the original, his son's got the original, which his wife runs, and now they do their own business. But you've got to have a plan. Otherwise, for health reasons, it's no good.
Yeah. How are you going to occupy your time, right? And you can golf every day, right? You know, don't be in a situation where you're just going to be parked somewhere and sitting and reading a book or something. I don't know, or fixed a TV. You got to keep busy, and that includes you up and moving and interacting with people. I think we start to lose ourselves as soon as we start to lose purpose in life, I think. You know, so if you can maintain that, maybe you're, you know, on board with some charity work. I don't know. I'm just spitballing thoughts, but I've seen it time and time again where folks, if they've lost purpose, it's sort of it eats into their character a little bit. You know, you know,
could go and set up a podcast on mental health as an example.
There you go.
You've already done that, haven't you, Mark?
I've got one. I should I retire now though? There you go. I got a little ways. I got to do a few more episodes. But, yeah.
So we've still got 5 more to go. We've only done 6 so far.
Rock and roll. Let's get going.
Absentee ownership. This is where you get on a plane, you go on a cruise, you've got all your systems set up, you've been through the list of what's chewing up your time per day, per week, per month. You've got all those fixed up. You've got your systems all documented. You've got your robot in there, and things are just happening nice and smooth. You're out cruising around. That's not bad either.
Yeah.
Sell and walk away. Well, I think we've just covered that one really, and that isn't really good for you.
I'll be the devil's advocate because it's just fun. What about walking away in a situation where it's just not working? It's not healthy for that individual anymore. Like, you know, maybe it's the right reason. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, that'd fit under the 5 Ds. Distress.
Got it. There you go.
So that distress could be finance. It could be personal stuff.
Yeah.
But distress is one where people just, no, got to get out now.
And maybe they aren't doing the business any service anymore. Like there's no passion in it anymore, and they're not like it's kind of dwindling and losing value because of it.
Yeah. Well, come back to me for a sec because it's all about me, of course. I said that I'm doing dental roll-ups. Yeah. Now, most people when they do dental roll-ups or dental M&As and things like this, they go looking for the old baby boomers that are getting out because they're over 60 and blah, blah, blah. I don't like those people. They're not my people. I'm too excited about what I'm doing. My demographic is the 32 to 38-year-olds.
Okay. And why is that? Because they've got so much debt. They're debt loaded.
Well, yes, but they see vision. They have ambition. They have a future plan. It hasn't been beaten out of them yet. Mm-hmm. So if I can get to them between 32 and 38, I can do a roll-up with them in the next 4 years. I can stick high 7 figures in their back pocket. Then they can do it again if they want to.
Right.
Because they're still in their early 40s and they can go and do it again.
Yeah.
Or they can go and do what they want to be doing 2 years after they exit.
Right.
But I've changed their life.
Yeah.
And that's
where
their dreams come true.
To restart too, and maybe doing it the way that they wanted to start things off in the beginning, having so much more knowledge in the game too.
And without that debt loading that you were speaking of as well.
Yeah,
so
right.
My demographic is the 32 to 38-year-olds because I like dealing with passionate people that see a future. And I can sell their business, their one business, I can sell it 2 or 3 times through a different technique that we're not talking about today because we haven't got enough time.
And that's your secret sauce, isn't it? You're not going to reveal the secret sauce.
Oh, no,
right.
I'm happy to reveal it. Absolutely. Yeah. We just don't have enough time.
There you go. Right.
So, okay, merge with a competitor. Okay, why is that so good? Well, there's a term that people use and nobody really understands it, and it's called EBITDA. And they throw in EBITDA and then they throw in another word called multiples. And they don't understand that either. But they know that those words are important and they compare that with someone else and yeah. So, merge with a competitor. Simple fact is there's private equity firms out there and people and family firms and things like that with lots of money. About $9.2 trillion worth in actual fact right now. And the issue is they need to invest that money. The problem that they have is under their restrictions and their guidelines, they've got 10 years from start to finish with a project. So the first 3 years is acquisitions. The next 3 to 4 years is making things work. And the following few years is how do we sell this thing and get rid of it? So it's a 10-year cycle that they've got. And if they don't get their money back, well, hell's to pay. So they've got to get their money back to the investors. They've got 10 years. That's it. So the essence of it is they will pay for less complications, better systems and better processes. They'll pay you more money because it's safer for them, easier for them. The bigger the organisation is, the more money they can pay and invest, the more money they'll get back later on. So they prefer bigger organisations. But these PE companies and these investors are in 5 different tiers and they work as an ecosystem. So you can move up this pyramid, so to speak, so that you can pass the deal on to the next level up and they'll just keep making money. Now we're getting into the part that I said we didn't have time for today. But anyway, the essence of it is the bigger you are, the more money they will pay you on this multiples, the more valuable it will be. They will multiply your annual income by a multiple and they will pay you more money. If you're small, they won't pay you as much money. If you're medium, they'll pay you a lot more money. If you're huge, they'll pay you a hell of a lot more money. Yeah. So that's the essence of it. That's the benefit of merging with a competitor. And honestly, I'm not brilliant at everything. There are people out there that I have to work with to make me better. And that's the same as your business.
Absolutely.
If your business is good at something, if you've got a competitor, they're probably good at something else as well. Together, you're stronger.
And I think, it's a real time for collaboration. It really is. Like, it's fine to be competitive. And obviously we have some competitors just by sheer nature. But honestly, we can't do everything on our own. You shouldn't, because you'll go bananas unless that's something that you enjoy. Arguably, you can be an amazing owner and still. I think the amazing owners realize that they need a great team, and then B, outside influence, whether that is like somebody like yourself or myself or a great study club, or the folks that are winning are going and taking all the CE and growing the scope of practice and that kind of thing and that nature. So yeah, I it's great. I like setting up little teams out there, like and part of that is being honest with yourself too, right? And it's the ones that aren't pointing fingers and blaming everyone else for their problems. It's the solutions-based people. It's the people that are getting their team to write down what they're doing on a day-to-day and really analyzing that as a whole of their business. I think that's what a great way to start it out, right?
It's also about creating opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're a practice manager and you've been a practice manager for 12 years, did you say you'd go crazy if you tried to do everything? Yeah, well, that's practice managers that have been doing it for 12 years are like. They've been doing everything for 12 years.
Yeah.
So they probably want to do something different. But if you've only got one practice, what can they possibly do?
You kind of get to the end.
Got,
There's a couple.
Got 2,
yep.
3, 5. That makes a whole new world.
Mm-hmm.
I move staff around from one place to another, even if you wanted to, if they wanted to.
And that's a bit of a leap of faith, right? Obviously, it's not for everybody, but there's a few great clinics out there that a couple great clients that are. Why don't you buy another one? Or why don't you start a course or something? Share this knowledge, right? It's the how do you find that folks find the vision? Is that the challenge for guys that should transcend from where they are to the next level?
I think in your post-production, can you please put up a flashing warning sign on this segment? Because what we need here is, it's a great idea. Why don't we go and get another practice?
Mm-hmm.
No. Is your practice working properly first?
Right.
Have you got all the systems and processes in place?
Yep.
Can you go away on long holidays?
Yep.
If you haven't got your practice working, do not even think about getting another practice.
Yeah, and you should know. It should be just like that flow state. You're aware of your numbers and your data too. You know what your team's doing on a regular basis. Everybody's got a job. Everybody's got a mission. There's cohesiveness. That's getting there first is the holy grail of it all. Yeah.
So remove the warning sign now. We can move on after that.
Here's the disclaimer, right? We'll have a disclaimer at the beginning. If you have this in order, then you can move on to the next level.
That's right. So then you should start moving into other practices, other businesses. Does it always have to be a practice, by the way? Why don't we talk about a bolt-on, shall we?
Let's do it.
Why don't we talk about what's a bolt-on? Well, it's not another practice. It's something that complements your practice.
Mm-hmm.
So are you a founder that has found that he's always on his knees working under a desk fixing computers and showing people how to do it and you've got the best Wi-Fi and tablets for people to sit down with, keep themselves entertained, which have nice little ads on them as they go through? Do you have an interest in that? Well, why don't you go and look at a bolt-on of an IT company?
Mm.
Now, there are always health IT companies out there specialising in dental, specialising in aged care, specialising in all these different things. Go and find one of those, add that onto your business as well, and that way you've got ins to other practices as well.
Yeah.
You've now got a relationship with them.
I've got a great example of this, Craig. A client out in the province of Alberta. He has 3 practices that are just, he's got the systems and he's got like a great team. He's brought in the right consultants and the right people to establish that. And he has a dental solutions company called Toothy, which is a compliance software. It's like an all one shop compliance. And he also bolted on to his practice. He has a brewery. Like it's just, it is right next door to the practice. It is my favorite practice to visit because you go get your dental work done, and like literally attached to the same building is a brewery. So there you go.
I'm sure that isn't where I was going, Mark.
Yeah, you know, do you like beer? Yes. Well, there you go.
Okay.
Right? Yeah.
So that was a lifestyle bolt-on. Okay,
There
you go. I'm going to steal that story.
You should absolutely. You're burrowing. I'm gonna get her back. No, but like seriously, that's and he's loving it, and he's actually gonna sell it all off, and he's moving to your neck of the woods. Believe it or not, Craig. Dr. Derek Nordstrom. He's planning on moving on to Australia. So there you go.
We've still got two more exit options to go here.
Let's get to it.
Okay. We've already touched on this one, roll-up strategy. So someone comes in, they say, okay, we're going to put 30 of these together, we're going to package them up, we're going to sell them off to a private equity company. Well, let's just explore that just a tiny bit more. So we've got them together, we've got them all working, sold them off to the private equity. That's sale number one. The private equity is going to say, hey, look, I want you to stay in the practice for another 2 to 3 years. I'm not going to give you all of your money. I'm only going to give you 70% of your money, and I want you to keep 30% in the private equity to make sure that you're honest and you're going to keep working and grow this business. So you've got 70% paid out in your back pocket. You've got 30% invested. Okay. 4 years goes past and the private equity says, well, you know that 30 that I bought? Well, I've also bought another 2 30s as well. So now I'm going to sell all those up to the next level of the private equity, package them all up. So now your 30% has been dwindled down to, 1% of the 30. Now we're going to say it's 0.1% just because I can't do the maths, okay? So 0.1% of the second sale. However, when they sell to the second one, that 30%, again, I'm reflecting back on that 30% that you kept in there is probably worth more than the 70% that you got paid out the first time. So you've sold your business now, or had the opportunity to sell it, for double the amount. Mm-hmm. What about you only take out 15%? Stick that in your back pocket. So you've got half the value. You've been paid out 1.5 times. You leave that other 15% in there. It gets sold off again 4 years down the track. And this is what I was talking about, phase sale over time. Some of these blend together a bit. It's going to be worth probably twice as much as your original business sold for again. So you can either sell it now, which I probably would, sell it now and get it all back in your pocket. And you've had 7-figure payouts every few years now for the last 10 years. Mm-hmm. That's not bad. That's what a roll-up can do.
Yeah. There's a lot of practices across Canada that have done that with a lot of the groups around. So that I've heard of that structure too, and that seems to be a good winning structure too, based on where folks are at in their career and such. So, yeah.
Now we get to the one that I do. Finally, bottom of the list.
Top.
Cooperative roll.
Okay.
What on earth is a cooperative roll-up? Well, the number one biggest thing that people say is, I don't want to lose control.
Yeah.
So, yeah, okay, fair enough. How about you keep control? I don't even buy it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to lead the way for you. I'm going to help you with your back end. I'm going to grow your numbers. And then at the end, I will give you the opportunity to sell your business and exit your business. You don't have to, but you can. And the numbers work out that it works out to be about 4 times. If they go with me, they get paid 4 times what the business is worth.
Sounds like a good deal.
They don't have to. There's no one's forcing them to, but the option is there. One of the really big issues is consistency, making things easy to buy. And look at you. You run 3 podcasts yourself. You make yourself easy to buy because of you've done 130 odd different podcasts just on DentalBytes alone, which is extraordinary.
Thank you.
And you make yourself easy to buy. We're always selling ourselves, but you've got to make it easy to buy. Otherwise, people will just move on to someone else.
Right.
And that's the same with your dental practice as well. You've got to make it easy to buy. And we've commented about systems and processes and things like that all the way through this conversation. Yeah. That's the part of making yourself easy to buy.
Right.
When
I don't know why right now, but I'm picturing like somebody like riding a horse and just handing over the reins, like, you know, and like there's some, okay, she's, you know, she'll get up real fast.
Can we get that warning sign put back up now, please?
Yeah, let the warning signs back up. Yeah.
This is sounding a bit dubious at this stage.
Right.
Just to note, this is more of a you thing than everybody else thing, okay?
Of course.
So, that with selling a business or exiting a business, it costs about 2.5% to exit a business, to do the integration, to do the crossover of all the contracts. And then it costs 2.5% to buy as well. So you've lost 5% there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, if you can reduce that by 2 to 3%, that makes you attractive and easy to buy.
That's significant. Yes.
Makes you good looking to a buyer.
Right.
And how do you do that? Document everything. Document your systems, document your processes, document every component. And in a business, you've got 13 different verticals. You've got your property, your accounting, your HR, your payroll, your IT, your AI.
Yeah.
Your AI. Document all of that. Your legal. There's 13 different pillars in every business. And the reason that a dental practice is not getting the value when they exit is because they are only covering 7 or 8 of those pillars. And why? Because they don't have the interest in the legal side of things. They don't want to be lawyers. They don't have the headspace for it.
Yeah.
They don't have the property headspace. There's only so much in there that they can concentrate on. And these are amazing people that are highly skilled at what they do.
Mm-hmm.
They can't be expected to cover all 13 columns of business as well.
Like even understanding understanding a lease to its full entirety. You know, there's all sorts of things we can get into. Yeah.
That's right. And as you said before, you can't do this alone. You need help.
Yeah.
And that's what, if you've got all those 13 verticals covered, you make yourself good looking and attractive to someone that wants to buy you. They're going to give you the maximum value.
Love it.
So you need to start preparing for your exit today. It's
I'm going to.
The old apple tree story.
Yeah. Can I have a beer though? It's Friday, you know? But you're right. I
dental practice in Alberta that does that for you.
That's right. Yes, I'm gonna go get my hygiene done and go next door and have a beer. Well, like I think yes, and not only on a business front. What are you going to do on a personal front too? Like that should be a huge part. Like what sort of lifestyle do you want? Are you saving money for that? Like, are you just be prepared? Like, you never know. Like this timeline we have is finite. So, having everything in place, I think just helps you sleep at night too, right? Once we have all these things sort of.
And your staff. Helps your staff sleep at night too.
That's right. Yeah. And then you're on top of it. It's a better environment. Just makes a lot of sense to me. There you go. Love it. Craig, this has been amazing. Like, I hope this is not the last. I hope it's the first of many conversations. What else is top of mind for you right now? Like, what's we dove into AI as being such a major thing to pay attention to, no matter what you're doing, like walk of life wise. But what else? Like, what else is top of mind for you, and what are you finding fascinating out there right now?
I think what I'm finding fascinating out there right now all comes back to AI at this stage, the potential of what that's doing. Now, I've done many presentations on AI around the world on podcasts, and the different revenue streams that AI is going to create, such as home kits, home dental kits. What? It's where you get on, you stick it, you go to your dentist and you say, oh, okay, I need to do, you're scheduled for a observation. So they come in, they pick up the kit, they take it home, they do the scan themselves.
Dental monitoring.
And
have you heard of dental monitoring?
That's like, they do their family.
Yeah.
And all of the results are sent back to the practice. The practice says, okay, got this.
Genius.
You're already booked in for an appointment right now.
Yeah.
Here's the appointment. We've sent you in. All of this is going to be happening. Yeah. And it's not just going to be about sticking a camera in a mouth. It's going to be about your snoring, your breathing, all of this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And doing in-home practices. We spoke of, again, I can't believe people didn't tune in early to this conversation.
I know, right?
But again, we spoke of dental practices. Why do they only work 7 a.m. to 6 p.m.? 11 hours is not long enough. People want to go to a dentist at different times.
Yeah.
And, of course, a lot of dental practices are in shopping malls and things like that. So those are restricted. But other ones, they have the opportunity to work out of hours. Where are they going to get their dental practitioners from? Oh, I know. They're going to get them from the ones that are closed, that can't do the after hours work because the shopping mall's closed.
Yeah.
So recruit those people in to do some after hours work for you as well. Keep those chairs rotating through. Increase your revenue. Oh, there's just so much. There really is.
Yeah,
we could go on, and as I said, I'd love to get back to you and have a discussion on this cooperative roll-up stuff.
Absolutely,
because that requires a whole new talk, and it is going to blow people's minds.
There you go. This will be
that's what I'm excited about.
Part 2.
I like to think of myself as the dream maker because I make the dreams of the founders, I make the dreams of the buyers, I make the dreams of the staff come true. And that's what I'm excited about.
That's bold, and I love it, and I can feel it. I believe you. So, are you working with folks in North? You said you are working with folks in North America, and like, what does that look like?
Well, it was an accident. It was simply an accident.
Is it the product of doing the right thing? Like, that's kind of how these things kind of play out sometimes, isn't it?
It is, and I was doing a podcast back at the beginning of the year, and the guy said to me, he said, Craig, what are we doing here right now? I said, I'm sorry. I said, didn't you realise? I said, you're in the middle of a job interview. I said, I'm looking for great people around the world. I said, and I use the podcast as a way of meeting people and interviewing them to see whether they're going to come on board and work with me or not.
There you go.
Continue.
I'm on. Did I Pat? Can I have the job, Craig? Am I on board?
I've read your bio, Mark. You haven't got time. You're way too busy helping so many people.
It's true.
It's amazing what you do.
Yeah, I'm busy.
But I was interviewing a guy in Dallas, and this guy had done some M&As on hospitals and various other things in the health arena. And I got back to him the next day. I said, hey, let's book another appointment for today and let's catch up. I said, I've got an idea. I said, I'm doing dental roll-ups here in Melbourne in Australia. But I said, I really liked talking with you. I said, you've got the skills to be able to do what I'm doing. I said, you just don't have the plan and the structure to do what I'm doing. And I said, and I went away. Fine, let's table this. We'll have it. And I went away and I spent the next 2 weeks building up the plan for Texas and the US and how to do this. And because it's a whole different buy box over there.
Oh, yeah.
They're just so much bigger.
Oh,
so
I
much
guess.
bigger
Yeah.
than what
Yeah. It's like 10x Canada, right? It's the same situation. Yeah.
It worked out to be 8x. Yeah, okay. 8x was the...
Yeah.
So, yes, I had to change things. And went back to him and I said, look, this is what I've got. And this is how we can do it. So, yeah, it looks like we're doing stuff in Dallas.
Cool.
And then I've got another outstanding email here at the moment, and I've got someone in Ireland who's pressuring me at this stage. And I said, but for me, the time zones, they're totally different time zones.
But Ireland's got Guinness. Like, come on. Frosty pints. They got all the frosty pints.
So, well, we're looking at London in actual fact. So we've moved forward. Ireland wasn't enough. And yesterday, I had another request for New Zealand.
That makes sense.
That appointment in for Monday.
That makes sense, yeah.
So now I've got to take myself out of Melbourne, replace myself, and I've got to start looking at the global situation.
Cool.
Now, this all started because I wanted to do something here in Melbourne. Make it easy on myself, local, all of that sort of stuff. Well, yeah, okay, that plan's shot, isn't it?
That's fun though. You've created opportunity. That's a pretty great thing. And then having the luxury to, wherever that journey might take you, you're presented with A, B, and C, and you get to pick A, B, and C. That is a luxury that a lot of people don't have. So there you go. It's awesome. Good for you.
It is. It was about creating a system,
Mm-hmm.
and the biggest objection to the system was from the dental practitioners and the founders was losing control.
Yes.
And I was able to solve that problem.
Arguably, how many of them already didn't have control? Right?
Oh, slap. It's
just an honest observation that I see.
Yes.
And just being realistic with yourself. I think, like if it comes down to just, are you really aware of what's going on in your practice? And arguably, you might have a good percentage of that. I think a lot of the ones that are more successful have a really good picture of how everything's going. But I think that's the name of the game.
And I slapped you back, Mark. What did you classify as success?
Success?
These people are incredibly well trained. They're highly skilled at what they do. They look after their customers so well. Is that not success? That is success as a dental practitioner.
Yeah.
But are you successful as a business person?
Yeah. Yeah. You can just
fooling yourself.
Yeah, that's it. Like, and maybe you have some dreams with your line of work too. Maybe there's so much more that you can uncover that you don't even realize that's just laying before you. Getting in and getting control of your situation so that you can explore the bigger picture and enjoy your life and have purposeful work. I think that's the name of the game for me. I don't know, like I want to wake up every morning and feel like I'm moving the needle somewhere, right? If I feel like I'm just kind of putting in checking in and checking out time wise, that's a tough place to be personally. I don't know.
If you're in the same room doing the same thing every day, how are you supposed to see what the opportunities are that are out there for you?
Yeah, precisely.
The skills that these dental practitioners have are transferable.
Yeah.
They're transferable to a lot of different industries.
Yeah.
The thing is, if they step out of the practice, away from the chair, they're not getting the income coming in.
Yeah.
Well, where are you spending your time on per day? What repeat tasks are you doing per day, per week, per month,
Yeah.
per
Yeah.
quarter?
Yeah.
Fill that out and find out.
It's a
And
great place to
look me
start,
up.
really.
Let
Yeah.
me know. Let me
Yeah.
know your results. I'd love to hear them.
There you go. That's a good segue, Craig. Like how yeah, I'll obviously put all your contact information in the show notes here, but where should folks go if they want to seek you out?
I go for LinkedIn.
Yeah.
LinkedIn is really where I put most of and if you look at I've written well over 100 different articles on this subject. Go through my LinkedIn articles there. There's incredible resources there that will help you out. I don't have the bandwidth to focus in on all of the social media stuff out there.
Yeah.
Because I'm too busy helping people.
I can help you with that, Craig. I can help you with that. Like, there's all sorts of really cool software. I'll give you some suggestions, and I'll follow up with you after. But
I decided yesterday that there aren't the tools. I come from an IT background.
Yeah.
Applications development, solutions architecture, systems architecture.
Yeah.
I decided yesterday the applications out there aren't any applications out there that do what I want. So as of next week, I'm going to recruit someone to develop the software to do what I want on social media.
There you go. I encourage you to check out Opus AI. That's one of them. It's great. It actually does all your post-production for you and cuts everything up, and you can place it and in a calendar on your various platforms. It's when you talk about your savings of time, I can't even, like, it's hard to quantify, but the amount of time that one software set, it's one of many that I use, is it's just game changing. It's amazing that the things that are available these days.
I have so much material already produced,
right,
and I can't get it out there to help more people.
Yeah.
And this is why, as of 2 months ago, I set up a mastermind group.
Oh, cool.
Because I couldn't get enough. I wasn't getting the results from people reading the articles, from people watching podcasts. I needed to get 20 people in a mastermind group and focus them in on these tasks. That discussion of what do you do, that is just one of the forms that I use.
Yeah.
I've got 5 other forms that I use to move people forward. That was just one of them.
Right.
And the issue that I face with social media is that I can't tag you. So I can't go at Mark Wagner in a post that is automatically in my calendar scheduled to post.
Yeah.
It doesn't do that sort of tagging.
Right.
You can put the hashtags in there, but you can't put the @ in there.
Yeah.
And you can't do it on Instagram, Pinterest, and all of that.
Yeah, there's some finessing to do, for sure. Yeah.
If you put the link to the article or link to the video in the post, the social media platform downgrades you. So you need to put it in the first comment as well.
Especially if
I need someone.
Yeah.
I need this application to go and post the first comment with the link to the resource as well.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
So there's nothing out there that does what I want.
Yeah, as soon as you start taking people off the platform, you get kind of poo-pooed by the various platforms. They want to keep you on scrolling on their platform. It's how they sell advertisements. So you are 100% correct about that, for sure. Especially when it comes to that
does everything I want to do, and I want to schedule every 30 days. Schedule all of everything for 30 days, have a folder just full of material that it can just rotate through, post, job done, so that I can focus in on the people.
Yeah,
that's what
great.
I need to do. I need to focus in on the people and making sure they're getting what they need.
As soon as you find that, let me know. Yeah, we should. If there's anything that I come across. So you're right though. There that is sort of that is a challenge. Is tagging the various other folks on your material. And again, you're right. On as soon as you take people off the various platforms, your content is basically put into the basement suite. Right. It's kind of a pain, but. Yeah, if you have somebody, I will buy whatever you're having developed. That sounds like that's the game changer there.
Lost patience yesterday. I've got the design in my head. I'll work it all out, give it off to the developer and say, here, I'll partner up and say, here, 50-50. I do the design, you do the coding.
Yeah,
let's make it happen.
I love it. And just apply AI in some form or some fashion, and away you go. Automate it. It's like such a time savings. Like there's I use Opus AI for that, but there's a lot of other content generating application too. I don't believe in letting the AI completely take over the content generation.
I've got all the content I need.
Yeah.
For myself, I make all the content. I've got so much content, I can never get it all out there, regrettably.
Same here. I've got like probably 6 or 7 terabytes just of video, just sitting there. I just don't have the time to put it through the system, right? So, yeah. Awesome. Craig, this has been incredible. I hope we will do this again. It'd be nice to catch up with you and find out how life is going on the other side of the planet. And thanks again for your time.
Welcome to the future.
Yes, and I appreciate if you can shoot me over the lotto winning numbers for tomorrow. That would be great. And then, hey, we won't have to worry about anything. That's like we can do all sorts of other things if we have the funding of winning the lotto. Like
what other things would you do, Mark? Okay, you've got that sorted. We're 2 years down the track now. What other things would you do?
I think I would expand outside the niche of dental and get into, a broad line, maybe a science podcast or expanding on sort of the medical field side of things, like and not being so niche. I think I'm capped where I am right now. So, although I love and enjoy this conversation, and there's so many lovely people. I feel like there's more. I'm writing a book right now, so I'd probably spend more time writing. I'm writing a book with a friend. It's a sci-fi fantasy book, so it's going to be a 3-book series. Yeah, so there you go. I have many.
The problem with you and with myself is that 2 years down the track, we're just going to be taking on new projects. We're not going to be sitting on a boat somewhere, are we?
No, I couldn't.
In our DNA.
I can't. Yeah, no, I can't sit. I just
for sure. I couldn't do that.
Yeah. The idea of not waking up and turning my light on in my mind and thinking and helping people solve problems. Like it's in my DNA. Right. If I'm not doing that or something on a creative level too, I need to create, like if I'm not, creating video, I'm playing music or whatever.
We've finished this. This is just between you and I and whoever's listening.
Yeah.
So let me tell you how the cooperative roll-up came about. Because you're talking about thinking and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Well, first thing I did when I got into dental when I came up with this, is I went off to my financier and I said, okay, what will you give me money for? They said health. I said, okay, what about dental? Yep, tick. Okay, fine. So then I went off to the private equity companies and I said, okay, what will you give me money for? And that dental. Well, again, just between you and me, it was private equity company number 9. But anyway, dental. So now I've got my front end and my back end sorted. This is just between us, okay?
Yeah.
So I've got my front end and my back end sorted. Well, it made it to the day where I had to put my signature on the piece of paper with the financier. Little red light went off in my head. Now, if you're going to be married to someone for 5 years, that little red light isn't going to get any smaller, is it?
No.
So I said, nope. I said, I'm out of here. this isn't going to work for me. That was the Thursday afternoon. Along came Friday lunchtime, and we might have to bleep this out a little bit. I said, well, stuff it. How do I do this without any money?
Yeah.
So that was Friday lunchtime. By Friday afternoon, all the thought processes had gone through. I'd built out the mind map on my screens on how to do this without any money.
It's basically sweat equity, right? Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's where the cooperative, because if they still own it all and they have full control over it, I don't have to invest any money in it.
Mm-hmm.
So I can do this without money.
Yeah.
And then you've got the shared business group over there that does the 13 pillars of business, which they subscribe to. So to relieve them of the pressure of the business side, they go into the shared business group. I get cash flow from that and build up their business, build up their numbers. No money required. So that thinking process that you were talking about, always happening. It really is.
Yeah.
And that's because I do business. I'm not a dental practitioner having to stay up with all the latest techniques, all the latest stuff that they have to deal with. Though how they do it, I have no idea. But they're exceptional in what they do.
Yeah.
I'm exceptional with what I do.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a synergy. It really is. That's the value you're provide. Like that is the money that you provide. Is that creative juice for sure? Yeah, yeah. That's where I belong.
That's all just between you and I and whoever's listening.
Yes, of course. Yeah. And the world. Sorry. I feel like we can just gab on forever. This has been great. We will have to do another session. This has been an absolute pleasure, and what a great way to, for you starting, or what time is it for you? Like midday Saturday? What time?
It is 9:16 a.m. tomorrow. What time is it there?
We're 4:15 here, so it is. We're approaching Miller time, and
so 17 hours ahead of you.
Yeah. I
could send a carrier pigeon with the numbers over to you.
There you are. It's your smoke signals or whatever. Yeah. All right, we better close off here because we're just gonna get a little weird, So, again, Craig, thank you so much for your time, and we will be we'll be continuing to we'll be in touch here. So
sounds good.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Mark, for having me.
You're welcome.
I hope your audience survived this.
Well, if they're not, hopefully they're a little entertained, right? That's what you can hope for. Awesome. Oh, the wrong.